Hello guys. I hope you're doing great. I hope you had a fantastic Sunday. So what I'll just do is allow me share the live with other guys who have not yet joined us, maybe on the community. Then we can continue. Just give me a minute. Uh-huh. Okay. So if you're new here, you can consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you have notifications anytime I go live. You can as well consider giving this live a thumbs up. Like thumbs up ni just a like. Maybe okay. Okay. Fantastic. So yesterday we were talking about we did analysis for various pairs from CADJPY to AUDUSD to Euro USD to GPB JPY, USD JPY, USD CHF, and NZD USD. So those are among the pairs that we focused on yesterday, and that means we will be starting from CADJPY, looking at all these other pairs, and then we'll also look at now the fundamental bit of what we're expecting tomorrow after the Trump's inauguration, what you can possibly be looking out for, or what we can possibly be having as an anticipation for tomorrow after Trump's inauguration. So before I continue further, someone just confirm with if my voice is clear. Is my voice very clear? Uh-huh. Okay. Are you guys able to hear me? Oh, that's nice. Okay. So I'll start with NZD/USD because that's where we stopped from. CADJPY, sorry. I think we looked at NZD/USD. That's where we stopped from. So if you missed maybe yesterday's session, you just go up. I posted the recap here on this YouTube channel. You can just go through it before you come maybe continue with this CADJPY. We so that you don't miss out on the rest of the pairs. So just as usual, from the daily time frame, I'll use a different liquidity provider because I've already done my analysis on that pair. So from the weekly time frame, the first thing I told you is you must have to you must get out your weekly bias, and to get your weekly bias, you want to go to a higher time frame where you're able to spot now the real trend direction. Okay, yeah, you cut the noise because now on the lower time frames there's a lot of noise, and that's something I've already mentioned earlier on is the lower the time frame, the lower the precision. The higher the time frame, the higher the precision. So you always want to get high precision. So you want to go to a higher time frame. And the higher time frame, the other thing you're also going to do is to find your directional bias. What direction are you expecting the weekly candle to fall for next week? Okay. Yeah. Last week I told you guys that we were expecting a bearish week. And that is exactly what happened. The reason for that bearish week is because, for example, that now that is last week. The reason for that last week's bearish market is because you see we had swept the previous week's high, and closed below it. So most certainly when that happens, we are looking to take the previous week's low as well. So most certainly this week, that is why we were looking for for some sales to take out now this low. Okay, now after we take out this low, then now it means that our next low, or the next low that we can target, is this particular low here, which I'm going to be targeting for this coming week. Because now looking at the kind of candlestick that we had now that printed this next week, we means that we're currently having a lot of bearish momentum on this particular pair. And you see we closed below that low, which means we broke structure, the downside. And that means now we can be targeting this low, we can be targeting to take out this low. Yeah, so that is what I'm looking out for CADJPY on the weekly time frame. So it means now, as we switch now to a lower time frame, most intendedly now you're just looking for an OB that will give you some sales. So most certainly you're looking for supplies or fair value gaps that are giving you sell setups. So you can always, this one secret I'm telling you, you can always look for entries at the close of no, at the open of the previous candle here. You see this, you can always look for entries around there. Yeah, most such times price gets there because now price will be trying to fill these inefficient, because if price starts from here, if this candle starts printing from here and trades down without maybe pushing higher, it means we'll have left an inefficiency there. Most at times we don't want to leave any inefficiency in the market. So that would mean that most at times price will always try and trade to fill all these inefficiencies. That's why now sometimes price reverses from the open of this candle. Had this been a bearish candle, we could have looked at the close of this candle. Yeah. And then now maybe we can scale now to a lower time frame to try and find demand. And you can see where we've had this line. See, it's always very nice. Coincidentally, there is a fair value gap here. Okay, yeah, which most certainly price will fill before we continue pushing lower. You can see even on the daily time frame, we still have this as our low right here. Still have, sorry about that. We still have certainly price will be looking to take out this liquidity. Are we together? Yeah. So that is the whole thing. That is the whole point. So you can see coincidentally, I don't check these, or I'm not seeing these, but yeah, you can see the close of the open of that candle coincides with this fair value gap, which means that most certainly, and you can see even at this point, this was an initial liquidity pool, still a liquidity pool, right? Yeah. So price might find resistance from this point to keep pushing lower. Yeah. So for CADJPY, that is what you're expecting. That's what I'm personally expecting to see in the market. Of course, that will give you a very nice RR if you decide to take a trade from there. But as well, you must also be very careful because just as I usually say, I'm not the market mover. I just try to find setups. This is the only thing I can do. I'm not the market mover. Yeah, so that is what you can expect on CADJPY for next week, and I'm quite positive about this. Yeah. Anyone with any question about CADJPY, you can drop it on the comment section. If you're new or if you're just joining right now, make sure to give this live a thumbs up or like the live as well. Make sure you've subscribed to my YouTube channel if you've not. Yeah. So the next pair now we'll be looking at is CHFJPY. Yeah, for CHFJPY, we are still holding these cells, and we have not yet hit our TP, so it means we are not supposed to do reanalysis. Me personally, I don't usually do reanalysis. I hate doing reanalysis because most of the times I'll see a different thing, and that might lead me to closing my entries. So here's the thing. Last week I told you about that fair value gap. I don't know if you guys remember. And I even okay, if you were not here, you can just go check out the video for last week. We had this fair value gap that I told you we might have price reacting from very nicely. And you see what happened is price reacted off that fair value gap from the beginning. Of course, me, I had my limit orders at the center of the fair value gap, but they were not activated. But for anyone who takes their trades from the start of the fair value gap, you see it was a very, very clean entry that has given about how many? How many? What's that? That is about 230. That's about 175 pips. Imagine 175 pips. That's a lot. Could have been $175. Could have been $1,700, 1750. That is, could have been $17.5. See, that was very, very good. Very nice reaction of that fair value gap, which means we will just stick to this one until maybe we close it. But let me just check out a different liquidity provider so that we see now for next week. Is there anything we can possibly be looking out for? Just as last week, and you can see the type of candle. This is what I will show you. I've been telling you what most of the times that usually happens. You see what last week we were expecting a bearish candle, right? A bearish candle, and most of the times you just price might react from the close of that candle. And you see what literally happened is price got to that candle and then we had a nice sell. That is what I've told you about CADJPY. Yeah, this does not happen all the time, and sometimes price can push higher. You see, even this time, just that maybe this one was a very, very small doji, but most times it gets there. It really gets there. You can see even here for this particular case here, price got there before it kept selling, and then now this one, you don't trade this one. This one is still bearish. You see now this one's failed. This one's failed, but then you see this one is a good one. So most of the times I've seen this happen by the way several times. Today when I was back testing, that is when I spotted this happen several times, and I was like, oh, so this can happen, and yeah, so it does happen. So you also have to be very, very careful in checking such a setup. So next week I'm also looking for more. That is the liquidity we are hunting next week, and we've been hunting for a while. I'm still looking out for prices taking out this sell side liquidity. So yeah, just be chilling, waiting to see how price reacts. Check out that sell side liquidity for this week as well. Maybe you can just chill out and watch how the market reacts off from this point. Maybe to see, just watch, because now in case most of the times now today when I was back testing, I realized when I don't spot an OB, I can literally take a trade from around there. And yeah, as long as you have your risk management in check, it's all good. Yeah. Then now, of course, we have to scale down to a lower time frame to try and spot if we can see an OB on the daily time frame. There's not much you can spot. And then on the 4-hour time frame, maybe on the 4-hour time frame, of course, we have this is our last break of structure because that's our last low, which means that we have, in this case, we are having this as our fair value gap round here. We have this fair value gap which coincides with this zone that we have marked here. But then as well, you also have this fair value gap. But I'm not thinking price cannot get to that point. Price most internally will react from off around here, unless there's something else on the 1-hour time frame. Yeah, so most certainly price will react from that zone actually that you've marked from the daily time frame. So you can just chill for more re-entries to sweep this low. One thing I'm certain about is that we might most certainly take out this low either this week or the other coming week, because this pair is also very, very slow at times. So yeah, that is it on CHFJPY. In case you have a question, you can drop it on the comments. I think had we looked at, yeah, we had looked at the JPY basket. I'm not sure. But yeah, last week for the JPY basket, we were looking for buys from this OB here. And you see, we had very nice momentum from the OB, pushed prices higher. And then on Tuesday, when we had our market in recap session on Tuesday, if you guys remember, we had that session for the fair value gap, even if price had a slight trade off to this last candle here, which is definitely a demand. But then most of the times price doesn't react from a demand during a continuation. Most of the times during a continuation, we are looking to find support regions from fair value gaps. Fair value gaps will always give very nice support to push prices higher anytime you're having a continuation. Yeah. And then now in this case, you can see we also we were looking for a reaction from this particular supply right here, which I'm still certain about. Price might react off there for this particular coming week. We might just have to chill and watch. But in the event that price does not react positively from here, then it means we will be waiting for prices at that particular supply right there. Yeah. In case you have a question, you can always drop it in the comment section. If you've joined late, you're welcome. You can consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you always have a notification when I come live. Yeah, you can also give this live a thumbs up, a like. Yeah. So our next pair would be USD CHF. Talk about single candle OB. Okay, I'll talk about that once I am done doing the market analysis for these pairs. Talk about that briefly. So I think for USD CHF, I had already done analysis. It is right here. We've done analysis yesterday. So that means I'll have to proceed to Euro JPY. Now for Euro JPY, I'm still bearish, just like last week, but I'll just switch to a different liquidity provider because I already have done my chart work on that. So this is what I'm looking at on Euro JPY. Still, almost a similar thing to what we have had on CADJPY and CHFJPY, bearish market. And you can see we still have this low to take out. And most certainly that is the low price is looking out to take out. Okay. Hiyo ndio low, most certainly price in a low kusweep. Okay. So that is why now we'll be looking for supplies for this particular case. So you can always switch to a lower time frame to try and find supplies or regions maybe where you can go into the market from. But do not forget that the general trend of the market for Euro JPY is bullish. But we are just taking these because of our directional bias. Like directional bias ya hii pair ni kuangalia like kesho ama next week tuna expect nini. Long term, yes, we are buying, but then huwezi anza kubuy sahi. We've not taken out sell side liquidities and stuff like that. So you have to be very patient, wait to take out the sell side liquidity, and then now maybe we can start looking for other opportunities. Yeah, that is on the weekly time frame. That is what we are targeting. You scale down to a lower time frame to try and spot an OB, sorry, an OB that you can trade off from. And you can see this is our last break here, and prices closed below that last break there. So it means we have had a break of structure there, and that will mean that now this would be our valid OB, not OB, fair value gap. So intendedly and above that fair value gap, you can see this our last that bullish candlestick here. And I've realized for JPY pairs, most of the times it has to get to that candle. You've even seen from the JPY basket. Yeah. So you can just chill, wait, maybe take more trades from around there and target that liquidity. That's the liquidity from the higher time frames. Okay. Yeah, that's what you can you can be looking out for. Is it advisable to trade USD pairs tomorrow? If one has a good think that means a setup or something. I'll talk about that just right now once I'm done talking about these pairs. So Euro USD, we talk about Euro USD already, and then now gold. So gold, you all know I really hate talking about gold. Uh, this was what we had last time. We were looking for supplies for a sale from this supply, and of course we had a very nice positive reaction from here. But by Tuesday, I think by the time we were coming on this live stream, we were having a live on Tuesday. We had about 311 pips. Yeah, and I even advised people to close this particular one from around to close it at either break even or just close it with the profits you already had. Because 311 pips were enough to reward you. 311 pips is $300, can be $30. $30 could have been the minimum you made maybe if you use 0.01. Yeah. So this was what we had for the week. We were looking out for a long-term sale on gold, but then it didn't happen. because we had data that strengthened the JPY. We also had the data that strengthened the that weakened the JPY, and also data that weakened the dollar slightly. So that is why most of the pairs with USD as the quote currencies were pushing higher for a while. Yeah, that is what happened with gold. So with gold, both the dollar and the yen weakened. So it means that gold must have to be pumping for a while. Yeah, but for next week, let me just switch up liquidity. Okay, let me just stick to this liquidity provider and just clear out these drawings. So of course we'll start from the weekly time frame to find the directional bias. What are we looking out for next week? And somehow tulikuwa na kichwa ngumu last week because internally like tulikuwa tunafaa kuwa very bullish on this particular pair, looking at the directional bias. I don't know why we were looking at a bearish week, but it's because I had a 4-hour supply. But yeah, for this coming week again, I'm still looking out for some bearish market. Looking at the current price action, you see we had this as a very bullish candlestick, bullish candlestick, bullish candlestick, and then even looking at even the types of candles, the kind of candlesticks we're having a lot of bullish rejection. Okay, like a lot of it means there's a lot of bears in the market when you're not push market to higher and higher. So I'm also looking to see prices push even higher for this coming week. That is technically speaking, but then you also have to be very careful when trading any USD pair, because we're also having a very, very important event that is going to affect the US dollar this coming week, and that is the Trump's inauguration, the swearing in of Trump. Hiyo yenye ita happen kesho. Yeah, so kesho Trump atakuwa sworn in, and people have mixed reactions about what they are expecting for the dollar. Some are saying the dollar will strengthen, some are saying the dollar will weaken, some don't know. And then now, looking at history, I think I was looking at history, what happened during last time's Trump swearing in, and also what happened during last time's Biden swearing in. And what I realized is the same thing happened. The US dollar strengthened and then weakened after a while. Same thing with that was when Trump was being sworn in. With Joe Biden, same thing. That is, the dollar strengthened then weakened. So the weakening was for Donald Trump. The weakening of the dollar was short term. It started strengthening back up again. But then for Joe Biden, the dollar has struggled trying to keep itself up, but then has also faced a lot of critical factors that have been affecting the dollar so much. Yeah. So still, you can be maybe, I'm not sure, maybe what we can be expecting for tomorrow during after the inauguration. But the only thing I can just tell you is you have to be careful. But for me, I'm expecting to have a slightly strong dollar during the inauguration, and then maybe later on we can determine everything else. But I'm still expecting a strong dollar during the inauguration back, because number one, I have so much faith with Trump, so much faith with Trump, and which means we're also looking at a possible stocks pump, and due because of the kind of activities zenye the US go through, to do with stocks, to do with social media crashes, stories at TikTok. I've also seen some news from Facebook and Instagram getting revamped, and the Trump's G token meme coin or something like that. Though all the things, you can see the kind of momentum we've had over the recent past. After Trump won, you can even see the kind of momentum we've had. Things have just started falling in place. So I'm still very positive about a strong dollar tomorrow after the inauguration or during the inauguration. That would mean that we might see some bearish momentum on gold and on Euro USD, on AUD USD and JPY USD. another USD quote pairs. But ultimately, you never know what happens. Yeah. That's the thing with fundamentals. You just have to be very careful when trading fundamentals. More so when you don't exactly know what to expect. You don't have data to work with. This is not like NFP or CPI that we have data we are working with, that we understanding this data. This is what happens when we're having a forecast and a previous and stuff like that. There's nothing like a forecast and a previous tomorrow. Yeah, we're going the only and the other only thing you can be sure of is we're going to have very volatile markets. Markets that are causing a move like nothing else, like something crazy. So if you don't love volatility and volume, stay home. Just stay home. Yeah, but yeah, we really expect the best. Yeah. Anyone with any questions? For those who have joined us late, thank you for joining my live. You can consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, as well as maybe giving this YouTube live a thumbs up or a like. Yeah, so that any other time I'm live, you'll get a notification. I'm so glad for all those who have subscribed and given us a thumbs up. Yeah, who has a question? You can drop your question on the comments section, on the chat box, maybe. Uh-huh. Talk about single candle lobby. Oh yeah, so I was talk about single candle lobby. Single candle lobby is basically you see the way you mark a supply and a demand. You see, for instance, kama tuseme this is your last bearish candlestick in this particular case. That is just it. You just have to mark that candle. That is what you mean. Because I'm aware that there are people who usually mark those last bullish. At what time is Trump's inauguration? Okay. Wait, chillax. Let me just answer this first. Oh, unapatanga kuna wase wenye wao mark okay, wacha niliona kwa USD. I think ilikuwa on the 4 hour. Not sure. Yeah. Yeah, kwa USD on the 4 hour. Try to fungua different liquidity providers so that I show you. There are people who mark their OBs this way. You see, like sorry about that. You see, like this, there are people who mark their OBs this. They mark literally the last bullish momentum. I don't know how to say that, but that is it. Yeah. For me, I just usually mark the last bullish candlestick alone. And if the last bullish candlestick alone does not give me a fair value gap immediately after it, does not give me a very clean break of structure, I will not go for that. Yeah. So that is, I'm not sure if I understood your question, but I hope I did. Is it advisable to trade USD pairs tomorrow if one has a good setup? If you have a good setup and your rules allow you to trade during high volume days, it's okay. You can go in. Is it advice? At what time is Trump's inauguration? I think you can just Google. That's a good one to Google. Mentorship mzee. About the mentorship, I am having my next class start on 2nd of February. So if you're interested, you can just text me on my WhatsApp or on Telegram. I'll I'll help you out with enrollment. Yeah. My next online class, that is ongelea rally base, rally drop base, drop hizo. See, that's just basically what it is. Like rally base rally just means price was pushing higher, and then there was a small consolidation maybe, and then price continued pushing higher. Most at times at this region, there are orders that are left around here, so either the whole, you can mark either the whole region, ama sometimes utaona ka last bearish candlestick kako hapa hivi, so utangoja prices at most at times price ita drop back to hiyo zone, you take more buys before we continue, cause kwa consolidation kuna kwanga na orders in the market, so price itakam kupick those orders. Drop base drop, just the same thing but opposite. So drop base drop happens maybe when the market is bearish, that is it. So price itakam maybe to this particular zone here to take more sell orders, hivyo, maybe before it keeps on pushing lower. Yeah, that is it. Anyone has any other question? Yeah. So if there is no other question, it means for me I'm done with my analysis and submissions. All I can say is we just wish ourselves all the best for this coming week. You just have to be very careful more so tomorrow, because we're having a major event in the US, Trump's inauguration. It's a major event. Might affect the dollar big time. So you have to be careful, trade responsibly, apply proper risk management, have a trading plan, and trade that plan. Do not trade outside of that plan. Yeah. Make those honorable losses. Make a loss that is inevitable. Don't take a loss that you could have avoided. Yeah. Do not risk what you're not comfortable to lose as well. Yeah. I think maybe now from that, I'll see you guys on Tuesday during the market recap. Yeah, we'll have a live stream on Tuesday, of course, to try and see what we've had, or the kind of setups we've had today, vis-a-vis what what will be happening in the market, to see if we will be having any adjustments or anything. Because another thing I usually encourage everyone is never ever marry your bias. Yeah, even for all these hizi analysis zote tumesema sijui price ikifika hapa tutabuy, price ikifika hapa tutasell. Anytime we can change the bias, anytime price ikinini, tukiona tu the kind of momentum yenye iko in the market, we can change our bias. We do not marry our bias. Okay, yeah, you have to also make sure you understand that. I have a question, Victor, you can ask the question. Yeah, I can just ask the question quick before maybe we depart. Yeah. Uh-huh. I wanted to understand more about Asian high and low sweep. For now, the best way to you can understand that maybe from me is just to stick by the videos I've already posted, mostly on TikTok, and maybe I will do a longer version of the video and post here on my YouTube channel. But for now, you just have to stick by that. Or maybe during one session, I'll do a video and post. I'm not sure. I'm just lazy with recording and editing a video. I'm doing more. I'm doing all these alone by myself. Like I saw your video on TikTok, but sikuelewa poa. Yeah, there are several videos actually. If you saw one, you can just scroll through and see the others. I think it will give you maybe a clearer understanding once you see more examples. Kindly enda GPB card uniambie kama hiyo 4 hour ni clear pullback. I don't trade GPB card, and I don't usually like talking about a pair that I don't trade, because I don't have a clear relation with it on the 4 hour. So for me, I would not usually take a trade from that OB. I'd rather take the trade from this fair value gap, because this OB, you see, liquidity has already been swept above the OB. Unaona, kulikuwa na liquidity sweep already above the OB, meaning na kama liquidity has been swept already, inamaanisha orders zishakuwa taken out. Mimi anytime I'm trading from the OB, these candles, hii candle yenye na mark inafaa ikuwe na a longer week than this one, so that nijue bado kuna liquidity iko hapa hivi yenye yenye sasa ndio ita draw prices to hii supply before prices ziende lower. So yeah, but I don't know how. I don't have a clear relation with this pair, so I'm not the right person to advise you about GPB card. Yeah, but if I were trading any other pair that I usually trade, I'd rather take that entry from that fair value gap. Yeah. So maybe that is it for now. I'll stop from there. In case you have any other question, you can always ask me in my or on my inbox. You all have my WhatsApp contact, or it's still on the description, or even on my Telegram. Telegram channel is of course on the description if you're not in the Telegram. Yeah, if you also have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can consider doing that and giving this live a thumbs up. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Love you guys.